Hey boys, what's going on? It's Ordinary here, bringing you episode 14 of Phoenix Coyotes GM mode. Last episode was the big playoff crunch. Of course, we got kicked out first round there to the Jets, who were the 8th seed. We were the 1st seed. We had a hell of a regular season, which doesn't really count for anything when you lose in the first round of the playoffs. And then, of course, the Jets went on to beat the other 8th-seeded team in the finals. So, for the second year in a row, we lost to the Stanley Cup champions in the playoffs. So, I guess we can take some solace in that. But, yeah, we also did the draft last episode, and this episode we're going to move right along into the re-sign, as well as free agency, and then we can test our team in the preseason and see how well we do there. So, let's sim right up to the 25th here and get the re-sign underway. I'm not sure whose contracts we have coming up. It says Michael Stone. 9 skaters are going to be RFAs. Not sure who's UFA. So let's just go into the contract screen, figure it out. Yandel, that's going to be a big one. We're going to need him back. Our draft picks. Who did we draft? Who did we draft? We didn't draft anyone good or what? We drafted Reed Gardner, the playmaking center, and Ryan Graham, the two-way forward left winger, I think. So none of the draft picks were, any good. But that's okay. So I'm sorting here. I'm going to go by overall. Of course, Yandel is the biggest ticket we got to re-sign here. We do have a lot of cap space with $24 million, but what about Smith? We should check attendees because okay, we're good. We still got him. But when my very first GM mode, I think was NHL 11 maybe, and I totally forgot about goalies, and I lost my starting goalie to free agency because I didn't press right trigger enough times to go over there. But that's not important right now. What is important is getting Yandel back. So let's do that. We do have $20 million to spend just on players. Goalies are fine. He wants 4.8. That's not the worst. If we bump it up, it goes up as well. So it's looking like 4.8 is the cheapest we're going to get him for. 3 years is fine. I know lots of people when they play GM mode, they like to get their contract years kind of all expiring during the same year. I don't do that. I don't really see the point, to be honest. I like to go for the cheapest contract just because you can get more talent on your team that way, right? You can kind of give your team eras, but as I've said in previous videos, I don't really like to do that. I like to try to be competitive the whole time. So 4.5 for 3 years. I'm going to bump it down to 4.4. We should be able to get that, yeah. 4.4 for 3 years. That would be a steal in real life for Keith Yandel. Michael Stone, of course, is another one of our D-men we have to get back. I think he is on that second pairing. He's an RFA, so hopefully he doesn't want... Ooh, he wants pretty much Yandel money here. And if we bump him up, he goes up as well. The one time I do go higher years is if, See, this might be a good example of when to go higher years, because if we give him the 4-year contract, his contract expires at 30, and that's then he's going to want a big contract at 29, 30 years old. That's usually when people get paid. 26, you see people inking their big money contracts now for long term in real life, and that's why GMs do it. Is so when they realize that this player could be going to the free agency in 4 years and get like $8 million. So I'm okay with bumping him up to 6 years. So he's going to be 32. He's going to be on the decline by the time that happens. And let's give him 4.25 because he doesn't deserve quite as much as Yandel, but he is still a good defender for us. Cody Ceci, another defender. Looks like we're pretty much just signing the entire decor that we got here. He does not want much money. If I bump him up, does he go up? Yes. I would like him to run out at about 26 years old, so that's 4 years from now. He wants 2.5. He only wants a 2-year contract. You know what? I'll give him 2 year and then another 2 year maybe. So 2 years fine for me. 1.75 is not much money, and hopefully he gets a jump in this offseason here and plays a better role in our team. Okay, now we're down to kind of just role players. Benoit Pouliot. He was left wing for us. I think, was he on the third line or fourth line? Probably the fourth line, even though his role is to play third line. He wants 1.83. That's the cheapest we're going to get him. He's just 80 overall. I'm not going to sign him yet. I'm going to make sure that we need him before I spend money on him. Because we could have some potential players I'd rather get. McMillan is one of the players I'd rather get. He's also 80 overall, but he could get a jump this offseason and get up to like an 82, which would be pretty good for the third line center there. So he wants $2 million. If I bump up his years, he pretty much stays the same. I don't want him for 8 years. I was just checking. Let's give him a 2-year contract just so we can trade him at the draft deadline next year if we want to. I'm not big on 1-year contracts unless it's for someone just right out of free agency, because then you have to trade them at the deadline. And sometimes, actually most of the time, I like to trade players at the draft deadline just because you know what you're going to get. Joe Colburn, he's kind of the same position as McMillan was there, and it's about the same contract, so that's fine. Talbot, don't want to sign him just yet. Schlemko, yeah, we should sign him. He doesn't want much money, which is good. He's not worth much money. And then it just gets down into even bigger role players. So I'm going to make sure we get our prospects back. So Kucherov, he's one of them. He is 23, so I'd like to give him a 3-year deal. He wants 1 point. I'll give him that because it's a 2-way contract. That's the max as I can go. Hopefully he'll take it. That's one we might miss, and I'll have to come back to him later if that didn't go through. But I just want to get all the prospects. So CC we tried, Kucherov we tried, Michael Stone, yeah, we did him. Joe Colburn we did. McMillan we did. Gardner we just drafted. I might as well give him a tiny little deal. No big deal. Get that, and then goalie prospects. Who's running out? McDonald, don't care about. Okay, none of those are very important to me. I don't know why I backed out, but I'm going to go to the next day here then. Go back into contracts and see who we didn't get, who we need to get, that kind of thing. Okay, we got a 5th phone from all that signing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See, Kucherov didn't want it. And he was the only one. And that's what I thought. Usually if they're asking for more than $1 million, you can't give them a one-way contract, even if they're willing to take that one-way contract for 1 or 2 years. Which is fine. I don't want to give him a big deal. I'll just take off some years. There he is. So if I give him 2 years, I should be able to see that 3rd year is when the big jump happens. So I should just be able to do this. And really, one-way, two-way contracts don't matter when you have waivers turned off at all anyways. But I like to pretend that they're there. I just turn them off because they don't make sense in this game. Alright, so I'm not going to fuck around for much longer in here. Let's just find out what our top 6 is right now. Go to forwards. Skinner, Yakupov, Hansel. Remember, we lost Ribeiro to retirement, so we're going to have to pick up another centerman, hopefully in free agency, and we do have a lot of cap space right now. So I don't think Hansel's cut out for a 1C position. So it's 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3. So we have our top 6. We have 5 out of our top 6. Jokinen, We don't have Pouliot yet. McMillan. We don't have Moss back. So we have one out of our third line. And then Colburn, Talbot. We have Dauphin, but I'd like to probably keep him in the minors so we can work on his snips and all that. So I should probably sign these guys because they're going to be cheaper now than they will be in free agency. I'm going to get them for as cheap as I can, even if it does mean a 1 year. Break my own rule. No. Try that. I don't think that'll go through, but maybe it'll make his asking price go down. Because that can happen. If you lowball someone, sometimes they realize, holy shit, I'm asking too much money, and then they lower their asking price. So I don't think either of these will go through, but we do have a whole bunch of days left to get these guys done. Chipchura and Talbot. Talbot, yeah, I'll get Talbot. I just like him as a player in real life, so that's why I'm grabbing him. None of these will go through in my personal opinion, but I am trying to make sure that their return offers are a little bit less. Who's this guy? 66. He's got shitty potential, but he's already 66 at 23. Tender you. He could probably trade you. Alright, forwards. Let's check what our decor looks like. I know I just signed all those players back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we got all these guys. Noro. That's another. Ooh, that's the exact same as the guy I just tendered. I'll tender both these guys. And then I don't care about these guys. Alright, so let's see what forwards we did get from that little low ball affair we just had back there. Probably none of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, we got one of them. Oh, that one was just the prospect player. Alright, but hopefully they lowered their asking price. He wanted 1.8 or something. Yeah, so it didn't really. But I'll be able to get him for 1.73. That'll go through. And then Moss I'll be able to get for about 1.8. Bump that up a little bit. And Talbot right there. Hopefully these go through. There is like a 15% rule where if you want to do the math, you can take off 15% of their asking price, and that's the lowest they'll go. I think is just like the shitty fucking equation that they put in the game. But I'm hoping in Xbox One and PS4, the next NHL game that comes out, that's kind of different too, because there should be an element of randomness to it, like experience, like the stats of the previous couple seasons and potential and all that should come into play. It shouldn't just be a fucking 15% rule. So I'm not going to get Chipchura back because I figure we can do someone better in free agency. So it's 1, 2, missing a first liner. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And that's perfect. We don't even need to get someone better in free agency, really. It wouldn't hurt, but we should see how our players progress before we think about just signing someone in free agency. Not going to worry about any of the RFAs or UFAs that I didn't re-sign here. They can just go straight to free agency for all I care. Continue. Alright, here we go. Weirkoch from the Senators is the best free agent right now. There's no good centerman, it looks like. All the people I tendered were happy to get... happy to accept my lowest offer. And it looks like not a lot of talent in free agency this year. Artem Anisimov is the best centerman. So that is kind of unfortunate for us because we do need someone to center that first line. And it's probably not going to be Ordy here. Hainsey's a little old for what we need. Weirkoch would be a perfect fit in our decor. But do we need him? No. He He wants 4.6. I would like to save some salary cap because we will be trading someone in order to get a first-line center, because that is exactly what we need. Let's take a look at what we have for defensemen right now and see if we could fit him in, or even just sign him and trade him. That's a good way to lose GM rep, but I don't really give a shit about my GM rep. To be frank, contracts, okay. He was an 85 overall. He could get a jump even yet, so keep that in mind. Gormster and Yandel right now. Ekman-Larsson should get a jump here. Gormley should too, probably, and Stone. So we do have a really good decor. We could trade away any of these guys. We're not going to trade Ekman-Larsson, obviously. We just got Yandel to a steal of a contract, so it would be kind of dumb to trade him. The Gormster, he's looking like an asset, to be honest. But it really depends on the return. So right now, our top 6 ends at more with 81. We got Summers at an 83 playing on the bottom pairing there. So that's pretty good if you think about it. And Moore or CC will be that 6th guy, and they're probably one of them will get a jump. So it'd be like an 82 for the worst. We got Schlemko still signed here. I signed him. We didn't have to, obviously, it looks like. So he's a tradable asset as well. We have a lot of D. So we're really deep. We're really deep there, and not so much up front, which is fine. I'm thinking I would rather have Wirkoch than Anisimov, but I am not sure. It's just like, who could we trade? Who's going to have more trade value? It's got to be Wirkoch, right? He's younger. He's 1 overall lower only. He's an 83, not an 85. I don't know why I read 85. What about prospects and goalies, too? I need to check that out before I make any decisions. Wirkoch is the best prospect as well. These two players at 25 with 3.5 gold stars, so they're probably not going to get a big enough jump to make it worth it. Jesse Blacker, he's 75 at 25, probably not going to get a big enough jump to be worth it. Wirkoch is looking like really the only useful one. Denault and Gauthier Leduc as well aren't looking horrible, just because they are 4 red stars and they're only 23, so they could have some years to get better, but not a lot for forwards. Or skaters. What about tendies? Chris Carosi, he could be a good backup for us. Do we need a backup? I think we still do, don't we? So it's either Harry Sateri or Chris Carosi, unless there's like a, or we could get one of these aging guys. We could get Emery back, but one of these guys could make that jump, even if it's just a few points up to there, and it's going to be cheaper, and we're going to have him for longer. So that's kind of important. Where's salary wanted? Like Sateri's 1.13. I guess they're all fairly low. Okay, first things first, let's grab Wirkoch. I've decided that's who we're going to go for. Oh, he's an RFA, isn't he? He's still restricted free agent. That's why it says other teams interested Ottawa, because that's where he's from. I'm going to bump this up to what I would want to give him just in case. But it's going to say you have to provide a bunch of shitload of picks. Watch. See, not going to do it. So we're not going to go for him. We're going to grab Anisimov. We could trade one of our other forwards then. But we just need to use some of this cap space that we have to get some tradable assets here. And this looks like Anisimov's going to be the guy that we grab. And he's got a lot of interest, so we're going to have to give him a decent contract here, which could knock away at some of that trade value that I'm trying to achieve by signing him. But hopefully he's down for $5 million for 3 years. If not, I guess we have to grab Hainsey. But I don't think Hainsey's going to have much trade value. So I just want to check our how our backup is coming along and see if we really need to sign one. 75 is Byzantine. So yeah, we should probably grab a 78, 79, 90 kind of tendy here to play backup for us. I'm going to just do one of these better goalies. I'm not going to try to risk it with the prospect tendies there. It's not a big enough reward when we have a prospect goalie coming up here shortly anyways. So 81, might as well. DiPietro wants less than Khudobin. He's a little bit older. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, we'll get Rick DiPietro. Didn't he dominate us as the goalie for the Flames that one round 2 years ago? So now, if we have him, no one else can beat us with him. So that's good. No one's gonna offer him a contract, so I'm gonna lowball him. 1.4 for 2 years. I don't think Byzantine will be. Ooh, he might though. What does he want for 1 year? It's gonna go up. So I'll hit him with 2 years. We can absorb that cap for a year if we don't use him. So not too worried about it. Let's see if we got any of these guys. Hopefully, we hear about Anisimov before someone signs Hainsey. Artem Anisimov was extremely happy, and so is DiPietro. So we got both those guys. That's very good. Now, what I'm gonna do is look at like a 25-year-old center in the trade block, because the jumps haven't happened yet. We're in July, so I'm pretty sure the offseason jumps are still going to happen. So if we can find someone with good potential, they're going to potentially, I don't want to use that word twice, but they're going to jump up in trade value really quick. So if we could get them now, that would be fantastic. I just want to do overall. And in order to be a first-line center, they'd have to be at about 80. I'd like an 85 would be the lowest, but we could do 83 because these people are going to get jumps, right? So let's see who we can find. Galchenyuk. See, look how low his trade value is right now. He's 86 overall. Louis LeBlanc down there at 83 as well. And all these players are centermen too. Like, I don't know why no wingers popped up. These are all centers that we could grab. Starting at Galchenyuk, these guys above have too much trade value, but for some reason Galchenyuk's at his 4.5 gold stars at 22. Leave him with a low trade value because that makes sense. Another player that's like that is Braden Shen and Nazem the Dream and Ryan Johansson. These guys are probably a little bit older, so that's why, and lower. 85, Kadri could be a really good pickup here for us too. Shen, not so much. Actually, Shen as well. Galchenyuk, of course, is looking like the clear winner to go after, just because he's the youngest. He's going to get better. His contract is kind of what I was willing to spend on a first-line center, although it does run up this year, and he's going to want a shitload more. A player like Scheifele, his contract still goes for 4 years, so that could be a good pickup as well. Shen runs out. Kadri's got 2 years. And then we could take a chance on LeBlanc because he does have basically no trade value. But I'm going to look at Galchenyuk just because I'm not worried about cap space right now. To get him, it would be someone like Gormley, see, and that's what they want too. And unfortunately, we didn't get that defenseman in Weirkoch, so it wouldn't be that good of a trade for us to make. They want DiPietro after we just signed him. What the hell? No one wants DiPietro. That's why he's not playing. Skinner, Gormley. These are the players they want. I'm not really wanting to trade any of these guys, to tell you the truth. Gormley would be the only one I am. He's like, you know what? We're going to do it just because it makes sense to get someone like that back. Gormley's a stud. He's our best D right now, but we have D coming up in the system. Oh, we have Dauphin coming up in the system too. So how long? Ooh, you know what? No. Now that I think about that, we do have Dauphin coming up. And what that means is in a few years, he will be able to take over that spot. So Johansson is 23. He's got a low trade value as a centerman. He's going to obviously be better than what he is now. This is the guy we're going to go after. It's going to be an easier trade to get done. And Dauphin is 21 at 70. He's 77 at 21. He's obviously going to be a stud. Not obvious, but he does have green stars, so there's a very high chance he's going to work out. Who's Hayden? He's a prospect for us. What is he? 3.5 green, I think. Yeah. Who do they want? They want Anisimov. So instead of re-signing him, because he just came from Columbus, we could do that instant switch that I was thinking about, or we trade Hansel, even though he has a lower cap hit. We don't need 2 second-line centers, so one of these guys would make sense to give up. Let's check out their individual stats. Hansel, of course, is more of a defensive player with his 86 defensive awareness. He's got good physical, but his shooting, his skating, his puck skills are just 4-star. They're not anything too special. And then if we look at Anisimov, he's got the better shot, the better skating, and his defense is only one worse. I say we keep Anisimov just because we signed him just now. And as much as I don't care about GM rep, it's kind of a dick move. So that might go through straight up. I might as well try it. No. So they will need something to sweeten the deal here a little bit. I'm going to go to whatever they want from us, whatever that thing's called. Scares matching block. Go down to low trade value. Schlemko we're not going to use anymore, right? Wouldn't mind tossing him in there. League approved, no. Why not? Salary cap? Let's see. Yeah. So it would have to be Hansel anyways because they couldn't take on Anisimov's new salary. So giving away with some salary with no value. Who do they have? Right here, Bennett. Nope. He must not be a roster player. This is it? They're not really wanting to give anything up, are they? Jesus. So it's not going to be Schlemko then. It's going to be prospects and picks, I guess. We'll give them our second. And what do we have for prospects here? These guys don't even have contracts with us. Just toss them in. Sweeten the deal. I don't give a fuck. Let's see. Have you even looked at our trade block surplus? They're unwilling to give up what you've asked us for unless you really make it worth their while. I don't think you have. You've met our block needs well enough, but the value you have on the table is too far off. So they're really keen on holding on to this guy. Nazem the Dream from Toronto was a similar player with a similar trade value. Yeah, I'd rather have Johansson just because the trade value was a little bit less. We have a good GM rep with them, so that might help the trade go through. And also they want more of the stuff that I threw on the table here. So I'm going to try this. Try to grab Kadri, I guess. Let's see if that goes through. Nope. So we're going to try to grab Louis LeBlanc then. Hopefully he gets a big jump. There he is down there. What's his stars? 4 red stars. I'm not confident. I'm going to go back to Columbus. I'm going to make that trade go through. I'm not confident he's going to get the jump that we need, and it'll just be like swapping centers. Alright, Johansson, you're coming with us, bud. Even if your team doesn't want to give you up, we're going to grab you, and you're going to love it. Defenseman. They want CC, which I wouldn't really like to give up, but him and Moore are the same player, really. Moore's a little bit older, so that's why his trade value is lower. CC, no, I'm going to keep him because he'll turn into something, I'm sure. Schlemko, keep you on there. Goaltenders, this Burke prospect, I don't need to hold on to him for any reason, so I'm going to put him in there. Now the trade won't go through because he's a roster player, so I got to grab someone back right here. Why not? What the hell? Alright, I couldn't put Schlemko on because his salary's too much. So I don't think this will help to go like this. Might as well see if there's someone I'd actually kind of want. Even though they don't want to give him up. Someone like one of these two players. Just like in case they get better, right? Like, why not? How old? Jay Forsberg. They want to give him up. Okay, like this guy then. Nope. Then it's someone I don't want that just has salary. We're just gonna have to do some sort of salary dump here like that. Will this work? It'll work. We'll go through though. Let's see. No. And we're just gonna be pissing them off here, so I gotta do something. Neil, you have to come off the table. You don't offer enough. Colburn. We have Colburn as well as McMillan, and those are two similar players as well. It's looking like it'll be a Nisimov second line center. Johansson first line center. Hansel's gone. McMillan, Colburn. But we could use Dauphin on that fourth line, so I'm going to go ahead and toss in the older one, whoever's older. They're the same age. Colburn has a little bit less contract, so I might have to use Colburn just because they don't have a lot of cap space to work with here. What are they at? Ooh, yeah, it won't work. I have to put in someone cheap. I have Talbot as well, so yeah, I can easily toss in Colburn or McMillan, but I'm gonna toss in Colburn. It should come up with an X, and I'll have to swap out Como here with someone with even more trade value. But this is the one trade we really need to get done. We need to get a first line center now that Ribeiro's Dunsky. Sort by salary. Just someone with a big trade value or a no trade value, but a decent contract is what they're going to be looking to get rid of here. Nikitin. So we got these two guys here. I'm going to toss in Nikitin and see if that... See, now it can go through. That did add some trade value, though, to it, and I'm afraid of that, but let's give it a go. Bit off in value, so it's definitely better than it was. Schlemko, if we're going to get Nikitin back, he's a top 6 defenseman at 81 overall. Schlemko is a 79 overall defenseman that we're not going to use anyways. So what we could do is toss in one of our like a John Moore with a little bit more trade value there, and make that go through. We're going to keep the Gormster. Hayden. See, he's got a lot of trade value. he's going to be good for us, right? But we have a good decor coming up. Like, what's a better decision here? Well, how old is this guy? He's 20. So he's not going to be good for 4 years. CC will be good before 4 years are up, but he's not going to have the same ceiling as this guy, I don't think. If we toss this guy in, we can save a lot of the other stuff. Like, we can take all these guys off the table. We can maybe even take Hansel off the table. You know what? Let's go to Montreal. Let's just do this trade right here. This is what we're going to do. Take all these other players off the table. Toss on Galchenyuk. I know that he's going to be fighting with a spot with Dauphin, and that's okay. Like, that'll obviously go through, right? They're robbing us there, so we can even get more value back. This is why this is a good trade. They're expected to do well, so it does have no value, and they want to get rid of it. Fucali, good prospect goalie. 4 stars. The thing with prospect goalies is, in the later years, there's going to be just stupid ones that don't actually exist in real life, like the made-up ones, and they're always so good. And this is a long-ass video right now. This is a 37 minutes, so I'm going to try to get this trade done for you guys real quick. But there could be someone else to grab off this team. I'm not even going to go. I'm going to go to all skaters. I'm going to go to potential. Galchenyuk I've already added. They want to give this thrower guy away, Dalton Thrower. I'd rather grab the guy above, to be honest. He's 1 year older, but he's got the jump. I'm going to take this guy. Why isn't that going to go through? Is it salary? It's salary for us. Not even salary for them. Might have to put a Nisimov instead of Hansel. But what else do they have? I can just toss in another player just to unload some cap. They have a lot of D prospects. Tenorti's another one. They want to give this guy up 3. He's only 3. None of these guys are prospects, are they? Like, decent ones? No. I grab thrower as well. That's what I'm going to do. Then I just have to toss in something with trade value, like a Colburn, just with salary. Toss in McMillan this time because he has the bigger salary. And that trade should go through. Like, I don't see any reason why it's not going to. We're going to click on it, and unwilling to part ways with what we've requested from them, so it's not going to go through. Let's take off thrower because I'd rather have the other guy, and let's see if that goes through. Nope. I'm not really willing to give up these and not get their first as well, so I'm more willing to add to this trade than to take away from it. So what about Schlemko? Do they want him? Yep. Okay, give that a go. And if it doesn't work, we can add in some sort of pick. Like a second. If they want a second. Let's see. They don't want it, but it could work anyways. There we go. So finally we get that trade done. 40-minute video. I'm sorry about that, boys. We're going to sim right up to preseason. Hopefully these guys get a jump. Wasn't my intention to make a fucking hour and a half long DVD Blu-ray release of this shit, but you know what? It happens. It happens. Our team is looking pretty similar to our banner year last year, but with a few key changes. With no Ribeiro, but now we got Galchenyuk, which is pretty huge. DiPietro backing us up, and that's those are the big changes. Depending on who gets their big offseason jump here, we could see a entirely different team, but I don't think we will. I think maybe Dauphin will get a jump enough to play on the fourth line center, and then we're going to have excess centermen. It's the same reason I didn't re-sign Chipchura. He just has no spot left. Hopefully this can go a little bit faster, so I don't have to keep talking about bullshit. What did happen today was the Tortorella suspension of 6 games, 15 days or whatever. That was kind of fucked. For going into Calgary's tunnel there in the first intermission of that game with all the brawls. And I don't know, I mean, I feel like that is a bit severe of a punishment, but at the same time, you dole something out like that to him, he's not going to do it again. I feel like it was Bob Hartley, the Flames coach, more of his fault because he said he felt like intimidated by the Canucks. No one feels intimidated by the Canucks. Like, yeah, they got a fucking ass load of penalties in the last couple of games, but no one feels intimidated by them, even under Tortorella. So that's bullshit. You wanted to send a message, you did it, and he got fined $25,000. So take from that what you will. I don't know what I'm going into here. I should go into the here first. But I don't know how much coaches make in the NHL. I know Tortorella is making $2 million a year. So if Bob Hartley is similar to that, $25,000 is more of a slap on the wrist. For someone that makes, I don't know, $50,000 a year, what's the equivalent, right? Like a grand? Like, yeah, you don't want to lose a 50th of your salary, but at the same time, it is a 50th. And the more money you make, like $25,000 is a lot less to someone who makes $2 million a year than $1,000 is to someone who makes $50,000, right? Like, it's not exactly the same. Scout assignment, yeah, get all back into this shit. Top 5, T. Arnott, already looking like a stud. A whole bunch of WHL forwards are looking like they're really good, so I'm going to update that scouting assignment. And now we're going to edit our lines finally. And we're not going to get any simming down to the preseason. I'm sorry, this took way longer than I thought. See, Galchenyuk got a jump to 87. That's exactly what I was talking about. Turned into a stud for us there. I think he was an 86, so it's not like it was a big jump or anything, but it was definitely worth it. And then 84 is across the line here in that second slot, which is what we wanted. Colburn, Pouliot, and Jokinen, Ernie, Talbot, Moss, Gormley, and Yandel. So Ekman Larson didn't get really jump at all. Moore got a jump of 2 points. I'm going to check, make sure no one's like scratched. Cody Cece's an 82 and he's scratched, so I'll just send him down to the minors. And then, what's Dauphin like right now? 79. See, so he could be centering that fourth line. I'm not going to do it. He'll benefit better from time down there, I'm sure. Bolio, that's the guy we picked up in that Montreal trade. He's jumped up to 79. He was a 76, so that's pretty good for us as well, especially because he does have a few more years to try to crack the roster. Kucherov up to 77. And that's about it for prospects that are worth noting. I don't think Smith changed. No, he's 87 still. That's good. Byzantine from 75 to 77. So, yeah, definitely was a good decision to get it back up. And that is about our team. I'm going to make sure that the power play and everything is how I want it. But it should be. Like, this is how I want all this. Offensive with the defensive. Two-way with two-way. Offensive with two-way. Skinner, Galchenyuk, Yakupov, Yandel, Gormley. I'm going to swap Gormley with Ekman Larson. And it's like our first line and our second line, so can't really change much with that. Four-man power play again, Gormley with Ekman Larson. Penalty kill. Yeah, that's fine. I feel like Yandel and Ekman Larson aren't our... Like, who's our other... where's, like, Stone and Summers? I feel like his defensive awareness is 87. Ekman Larson's can't be better. 86. Yeah, like, Summers should be One sec. Stone's 85. Why is... I feel like that should be it, right? Stone should be there. Yeah, that's right. Oh, but I did want that defensive defenseman with Ekman Larson, just because his defense isn't... Whatever. I'm going to leave it like this. To the penalty kill. Oh, Summers is up there. But Stone should be here. Yeah, perfect. Okay. Again, Stone should be here. 4-on-4 lines. Those are fine. I like those. Yeah. Skinner and Yakupov. I'm going to put Galchenyuk instead of Yakupov for the extra attacker. Although, they're always going to be on the ice at the same time, so I'm going to put Anisimov out there. Or an offense. I'm going to put Yandel out there. Yandel. Okay. Smith and DiPietro. That's perfect. Verbata, no. Galchenyuk, yes. Gormley, no. Anisimov, yes. That looks more like it. Okay, perfect. The lines are good. Next episode, we can sim forever. And this giant 47-minute long episode is coming to an end. If you managed to stick through the whole thing, thanks. I didn't realize that it was so fucking long until I turned around and looked at the time, so that's my bad. If you liked the video, though, please press like on it. Comment with line changes if you want any. If you want to see some trades, let me know what you wanted to see, and I can get those done in the next video. But, as always, thank you for watching so much, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.